Human-environment interaction, the 5 themes of geography. As you view the video, please make sure you are taking notes on your packet provided. Everything you should be writing down will be in red on the slides. Geographers use the theme of human-environment interaction to answer the question, how do people and the environment interact with one another? That means, how do people and the environment get along with one another? Humans can affect the environment in many ways, either positively or negatively. One example of a negative interaction between humans and the environment is clear cutting, or people cutting down trees for housing developments or roads. At this time, go ahead and pause the video. With your group or individually, see if you can think of other ways in which humans have had either a positive or a negative impact on the environment. Go ahead and list what you come up with in your notes. Just like humans affect the environment can also affect humans, either positively or negatively. One example is droughts. Extreme droughts have caused many farmers to lose their crops. Again, go ahead and pause the video. Either alone or with your group, in your notes, see if you can think of other ways in which the environment has had either a positive or a negative impact on humans. Examples of positive effects humans have had on the environment: protecting endangered species, conserving energy in the home, recycling, maybe even walking or taking a bicycle rather than a car to conserve fuel. As a group or individually, reflect and see, did you come up with these examples? What else did you come up with that's not here? There's also many negative effects humans have on the environment, such as littering, clear cutting, landfills, hunting endangered animals, and so on. Is there anything else that you came up with? Share with your group or reflect as an individual. Now we're going to talk about the 3 different ways in which humans interact with the environment: adapt, modify, and depend. Humans adapt to the environment, they modify the environment, and they depend on the environment. These are going to be very important vocabulary terms that you must be able to apply. When we talk about adapting to the environment, we're talking about humans changing themselves or something about their behaviors to suit the environment. You can see in the picture at the top, this is a home that's built up on stilts because it's in an environment that's prone to flooding. So the people have changed how they build their homes because of the environment. The bottom picture is a storm shelter. This is people changing their actions because of where they live. Obviously, these people live in an area that's prone to natural disasters such as tornadoes. We also see people adapting to the environment when they live in cold climates. These people have to change their actions and change how they dress because of their environment. These people in the picture are Inuit who live in northern Canada. They've adapted to the cold Arctic climate by using animal skins and fur to keep warm. Another example of adapting to the environment is changing the transportation people use. For example, people who live in northern Canada may have to use snowmobiles instead of cars because of the snow-covered, frozen terrain. Take a moment again and pause the video. Either alone or with a group, think of some other ways in which people adapt to the environment. You can keep a list in your notes. When humans modify the environment, this means they change the environment to suit themselves and their own needs. In the picture you can see a bulldozer that is cutting down trees. This is humans modifying the forest, probably because they want the trees for timber, or they're clearing the land to make a housing development or for roads. They're changing the environment because of their own wants or needs. Another example of environmental modification is installing sprinkler systems. This is modifying the environment because people have changed the land or laying the sprinkler hoses into the ground. Many forests across the country have been cleared to make room for new houses and stores. People who cut down these trees have a definite effect on the environment. Again, go ahead and pause the video. Alone or in a group, see if you can list some other ways in which people modify the environment, and you can keep track of these in your notes. Go ahead and use the pictures on this screen as a starting off point. And finally, we have depend. Humans depend or rely on their environment. What that means is they require something from the environment for survival. In this picture, we can see a dam. Humans are relying on the water here for electric power. Another example in how people depend on the environment is relying on oil to heat their homes. These people depend on the environment. They need the oil to stay warm during the colder months. Another way in which people depend on the environment is needing waterways to transport goods from one area to another. Without this aspect of the environment, the water itself, people would not be able to efficiently move certain products. Please go ahead again and pause the video. I want you now to list some other ways in which people depend on the environment in their notes. I've given you some pictures again to help you get started. Now it's time to review. I'm going to read you a series of statements, and you're going to write in your notes if it's an example of adapt, modify, or depend. Go ahead right now and number 1 through 8 on your notes. Then feel free to pause as I read the questions if you need time to answer. Number 1. Due to the ice, many people in the Arctic use sled dogs to travel. Is that adapt, modify, or depend? Number 2. Native Americans used rivers to trade and travel. Number 3. The Panama Canal was built to make trade between countries easier. Number 4. A new shopping mall was built on the old apple orchards. Number 5. I have to be sure to apply bug spray when I go out into the woods. Number 6. Pollution is threatening the lives of many animals around the world. Number 7. We heat our home with propane. Number 8. Pesticides are used to protect crops against bugs. Now let's go ahead and see how you did. Number 1, the answer was adapt. In this instance, people changed their mode of transportation because of the environment. Number 2 was depend. The Native Americans relied on or depended on the rivers to survive. Number 3 was modify. The land was changed to build the canal. Number 4 was also modify. This land was changed to build the mall. Number 5, the answer was adapt, changing your own habits due to the environment. Number 6 was modify. People polluting has changed the environment in drastic ways. Number 7 was depend. Relying on natural resources for heat is relying on or depending on the environment. And number 8 was modify. Humans adding harmful agents to the environment, such as the pesticides, changes the environment negatively.